steepest street in the world is somewhere there. See, so at the bottom it's like, it doesn't look like a steep hill, does it? What do you think? It's not so much that bit. It's that bit there. From there, flattens off. When I say flattens off. That there is the school that we just parked in. So we've like walked up here to the top, and the top past the cafe. It's a long old way. The second stage of coffee is kicked in. I go from like being really sleepy and yawning for like the first 15 minutes to then like and that's the stage I'm in now.
How are you feeling about the climb? Now you've seen it.
I didn't want to see it, but I'm glad I have seen it now. Because you need to know where to ride, I think. Because if you get like a little bit of it wrong, you'll have to unclip. I'm glad it's not wet, because I'm proper nervous about it. Not so much like blowing or like just not like making it up. Like that first bit is so steep. I'm not even joking, like if you get the wrong line and you come through the hairpin like out of the saddle or like your weight is slightly in the wrong place, you'll be on the floor. So I should probably explain where we are. We're kind of north-west Wales, about an hour and a half drive north of Aberystwyth, for those of you that know where Aberystwyth is, for a hill climb that Welsh Cycling have put together on the newly crowned world's steepest street. And in the manual, I'm going to read this now, but the Guinness World Records was named this street as the steepest street in the world, replacing the previous record holder Baldwin Street in New Zealand, which has an average gradient, or not, a max gradient of 35%. This climb, which is 310 meters long, has a max gradient apparently of 37.45% and possesses an average gradient of 17%. I'm off at 3:25, I believe. There's like 2-minute intervals between each rider as opposed to like 1 minute usually. I've heard on the tannoy that the fastest rider so far, and there's like a few youth riders doing this as well, so fair play, like they're giving themselves a good workout today. But the fastest time so far is something like a 1 minute 10, so I'm happy with anything around the minute mark. There's, on the start sheet, there's 2 riders of note, really. I'm going to take myself out of the equation because the climb is like way too short for me, but we're still going to try and do 650 watts for a minute because that's what my personal best ever is. I did that last year, so we're going to try and do that. But the 2 riders here of note are Dan Evans, former national hill climb champion, and Callum Brown, Callum is a very powerfully built rider. Like he's built differently to me and Dan, and well, we're all kind of built differently. I'm kind of, you know, the 59 to 60 kilo range. Dan is like the 64, 65 kilo range, maybe a little bit less. And then Callum is a little bit more than that again. I think he's sub 70 kilos, but he's got like huge calves. And he rode the hill climb season last year, and he was very, very strong, very, very dominant over the short climbs. And he's made like a heck of a trip, because I think he lives like north East England, so he's made a heck of a trip to come all the way here to do this. So he'll probably do a very good ride. He's got some big power, like 1,000 watts I think he's done for like almost a minute. I know it sounds crazy. In fact, don't even quote me on that, but it's quite a lot of power that he was doing for a minute anyway. So hopefully my weight advantage will help me when I'm just doing a measly 650 watts. Cleaning the mud off my helmet. Saves a couple of grams, right? To be fair, I've not modified the bike in any way. Let me show you. So yeah, I've not modified the bike in any way whatsoever. I haven't even put a carbon saddle on it. Because, well, main reason, I am going to be riding part of the way home after this event. Charlie's going to drive home, and just because today's like the last day of like a long block that I've done really, before taking 3 days off next week, like my last chance to learn to get a ride in. So today, instead of just doing a 1 minute hill, I'm going to do a 1 minute hill, and then I'm going to ride like 2.5 hours, quite hard, maybe do a few efforts on the way home. So the bike is in a pretty general setup, so that I can also ride home. Just got my training wheels, which are Chinlad wheels. A guy very kindly built them for me. You can check him out on Instagram, Chinlad wheels. So I'm riding these. They're not particularly light as training wheels go. Like I said, normal saddle, the physique. We have a chain catcher that I might need today. More importantly though, you're probably wondering what gear selection I've got here, and yes, you're correct. I have the smallest gear selection that I could possibly have at the moment, and that is a 3628. So I'm probably going to be in that gear on that first hairpin, and then I've seen it flattens off quite considerably near the top. So yeah, hopefully be halfway down the block by the time I finish. And because of the gradient change near the top, because it's so severe, like because it goes from like, you know, something so sharp to something so shallow at the top, it kind of suits the lighter guys actually, because you're able to get back up to speed a lot quicker. You're able to accelerate faster. So much like coming out of a hairpin, if you've ever ridden you know, a long alpine climb or something, and you've come out of a hairpin, lighter guys will generally have a lot more kind of what's the word I'm looking for, momentum when they come out of that corner. So it's the same when you change pace. The bike as is probably weighs something like 7.9 kilos, basically the same as the hill climb I did last week at the Isle of Man. So, you know, no changes there. The only difference is, of course, the climb is like a minute instead of 13.5 minutes. How's it going to go for me? I don't know, if I'm being personal and honest with you. I'm excited because like a minute effort is like a very general, like, you know, a minute, like anybody can go hard for a minute, like, but it's like I've not trained for it at all. Like the whole year, it popped up in my calendar a few weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like it'll just be great to show face, great to get involved. I'm gonna be able to do a half decent ride, even though I haven't like specifically prepared for this. And to be honest, if you were to prepare for this properly, you'd probably you know, do a lot of effort around a minute or 30 seconds in length, a lot of repeated intervals. You do a lot of strength efforts. You'd even go to the gym probably, just to work on that explosive power. But for me, I'm just coming into it blind, like not having done any kind of effort like this for a long time. So it's going to be entertaining, I think. Very entertaining. Oh, it's cold.
Flying! Come on, Andrew! He's flying! Go, 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 Andrew! Wow!
It's only now my heart rate's coming up. I'm so useless to those short efforts. I don't think it took me a minute 10. They said it took me a minute 10. It didn't feel like a minute and 10. It felt like a minute. I won't argue anymore.
He's in third place, 58 seconds!
58 seconds for third place. Even some of the youth riders, maybe. I'm not even like, I just finished, not even out of breath. Just so you can't, it's a completely different effort, guys. Like, to be able to just go like that and, you know, just do 1,000 watts off a line and cross like with nothing, like, just can't do that.
Well done, Dan. Nice one.
Different kind of ability. My legs are wobbly though. So there we have it. No idea where I finished, but definitely was not in the top 3. Yeah, it's a completely different effort, but I just want to like thank Welsh Cycling for inviting me up. It's great to be able to support something like this because, you know, as usual, I'm fairly tied up with racing and stuff. So to be able to come to this with the atmosphere as well, I'm sure Charlie got some good footage of the finish. It's definitely worth it. Hopefully there's going to be more publicity for this climb because it is horrendously steep on that like first hairpin basically, and then it bites you near the top, but I'm happy with that. It was good fun. So yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here because of this video and the title of this video being that we've done a hill climb, we raced the steepest road in the world, steepest street in the world, then please consider subscribing. Some great content that I put out just for your benefit, so please subscribe, please like this video. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Actually, before we go, I just want to show you this. This is my power curve for the actual effort. So apparently it took me official time 1 minute 10, but if we go to like 1 minute 10, it's only 528 watts. Personally, I think the actual effort was there. We can see like the end of the effort where it starts to drop is there, which is 56 seconds. So I did 6:14, but it kind of drops really quickly. But the curve is fairly decent, like it's not like a big drop, although it starts to drop quite rapidly there. So from that we can tell that I'm not, I mean I can go well to maybe here and hold that power, but then it just starts to drop really quickly in these last kind of between 30 and 60 seconds.